Welcome everybody to another episode of New Testament Tutorials. I am your host. I know you guys are wondering, man, Kenny, where have you been? It's been months, since you made a video. You haven't made a video since January. And I want to let you guys know, things in my life are good. Being a YouTuber is very difficult, especially if YouTube isn't your full-time job. Trying to manage a channel, manage a family. I have a special needs child. Managing your other job. It can be a lot of work. But I promise you guys, I'm back full-time. I'm gonna try to do a video every day or every couple of days for you guys. God tasked me with this job to bring his word, to bring forth his word, with the platform that I have, and that's what I'm gonna do for you guys. So I'm sorry I've been gone for a few months, but I'm back in full swing here. What I want to talk to you about today is just a very touchy, sensitive subject. I tried to give it some time before I talked about it. I wanted to talk about it initially, but out of respect, I wanted to, let a little bit of time elapse before I dealt with the subject. But the way things have been going and things that are being said is kind of, I feel like it's the right time to deal with that right now. And that subject is going to be the death of one Kevin Samuels. And I'm talking about it strictly from a standpoint of how people who say they love God have dealt with this. For the people that don't know, Mr. Samuels was a very popular YouTuber here on YouTube. He had about 1.4 million subscribers. He'd been on YouTube for a few years, but he blew up maybe in 2020 when he began to do relationship advice with women. And he was a very polarizing figure. I was one of the ones who actually watched his content. I felt like his content was trying to help, and a lot of people focus more on, well, he was rude or he was this or he was that, and I didn't get that at all from him. I actually enjoyed his content. But what I want to deal with today is the response that we've gotten from church folks, regarding him. We even had a pastor who I'm not going to mention, diss Mr. Samuels, during his service up in Atlanta. You guys, for those who know, for those who don't know, you can easily find it on YouTube. He since later apologized, but I wanted to talk to people out there, women, men, pastors, everybody out there about this. The word tells us in Philippians chapter 2, the Bible tells us to not just be concerned with ourselves, to be concerned with what's going on with other people. And I just find it appalling that people would trash this man's name. You got celebrities trashing his name. You got people celebrating his death and mocking his death. And to me, that's wrong. We have to be better than that. Jesus said, let the way you live show that you are a follower of me. And I'm not here to judge. And people say, well, you're judging. Well, Paul said it's not our job to judge what goes on in the world. It's our job to judge what goes on in the church. So when it comes to people who profess to love God, celebrating this man's death and, laughing and making memes, and it's despicable to me. It's despicable to me. The Bible tells us to share in other people's joy. When people are sorrow, share in their sorrow. Just be concerned for other people. We're taught to love thy neighbor as thyself. And unfortunately, we live in a time now where people feel like if you love them, you'd agree with everything they do. Whether it be political affiliation, whether it be their opinion on relationships, anything, they tell you, just, you would agree with me if you love me. And that's not the case. Whether you love Mr. Samuels or whether you hated Mr. Samuels, his content, you thought he was a bully or whatever, he was a person. He had a family, he had a wife, he had a daughter, he had friends. And it's just appalling as Christian people that we're out there celebrating a man's death. We're out there, making memes about him dying alone. And I saw the video where Vivica Fox talking about he just killed over and stuff. And that's, to me, I find that stuff deplorable. Absolutely deplorable. Mr. Samuels talked about God a lot. He was trying to do a positive work in the community. I mean, he did bring some relationships together. He got a few marriages and engagements out of his mixed group. And, whether you love somebody or you hate somebody, the Bible tells us that we're not at war with flesh and blood. So for people to personally attack this man, is appalling. It's just appalling. I can't control. I have no control over what people do out in the world. But for people who profess to love God, I'll go out of their way to attack this man, to troll his family members. It's just despicable. We have to do better in the church. Moving forward, I'm going to be bringing you guys some good content. God's been dealing with me, giving me some topics to talk about. And like I said before, I'm going to try to get a video out to you guys once every couple of days. I'd like to do it every day. I may actually be able to do it every day, but I'm going to try to get a video out to you guys at least once every couple of days. This is just my thoughts on the subject. Like I said, I actually like Mr. Samuel's content. I saw no problem with what he was doing, because a lot of times, there is no easy way to tell people what they have going on or what they need to do to begin to change their lives. Even me as a Christian guy, there's no easy way to tell people things sometimes. And people who aren't ready to receive your info, no matter how you say it, they're not going to receive your info. So that's it for me today, guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to my video. Like I said, I'm back in full effect. I'm sorry that I was gone. Till next time.